Secretariat, are you okay? Thank you. First and foremost, I want to take this opportunity to welcome everyone in this afternoon session. Before we went for lunch, our chair gave communication on how we were or who we were to engage this afternoon. And I can see that one trustee who was not in the morning is in the premise. And Honorable Chair, before we proceed, I can see that he is not properly dressed. I would like that we rule on this because this is a honorable house with procedures. I don't know what direction you're going to give us, Chair.
Thank you so much, Honorable Vice Chair. In the interest of matters at hand and aware of the standing orders of this assembly, I allow him to be part of this process since we had invited him. Although the reasons supplied to me was that he is coming as a private citizen, but a private citizen is invited to an official duty. So you ought to have come on an official attire, but nonetheless, because of the gravity of the matters that we are dealing with, I want to believe that the content, your intellectual content will not be marred by the physical outward look, so that you will deliver substance to the honor and the expectation of this house. Thank you so much.
Thank you for that direction, Chair. We can proceed, and before we proceed, I would like the Sergeant at Arms to give Mr. Joseph Kipkemboi Maritim to introduce himself, because he was not part of us in the morning, and he officially tell us why he was late, because his apology was not taken by this committee in the morning. Kindly, Mr. Joseph Kipkemboi Maritim, can you introduce yourself and at the same time give a reason why you were not able to make the time you had been invited, that is 9 a.m.
Thank you very much, Chair and the Honorable House. My name is Joseph Maritim, the former CEO Youth Gender and Sports, and trustee to the Wasingishu Overseas Education Trust. I want to.
It is good to be captured. You know, you have been described as the principal trustee. Just if you are given a title, just accept it.
Principal trustee Wasingishu Overseas Education Trust. It's true, I received the invitation to appear today, that is on Monday, and then unfortunately this is the communication I got when I was already in Nairobi, and I had some engagements. I was having an exam yesterday and today, and so I had purposed to be here this afternoon. I had sent my apologies through Wasiri for youth. And I want to apologize to this house through the chair, because apparently I did not use the right channel to give my apologies. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you, but by you saying that you received communication yesterday, would not take it the way it is, because when you left this place, you knew very well that we had agreed that we are going to meet the county executive team, you included, today, and we said that letters will just to affirm or confirm the same. Therefore, the excuse of saying that it was communicated to you yesterday, I don't take it seriously, because when you left these premises, you knew that we are meeting today, and the letter was just to confirm the same. Nevertheless, we can continue. While you are away, there were documents that we had requested the team to come with, and their document we could not get, and therefore would like to hear from you before we proceed. Members, the letter that we invited them, and the list of documents that they were to bring with. There were those that we were told that the principal trustee was the one who was the one who had custodian of the same. Bwana Joseph Maritim, we have in our list of documents that you are to come with, number 2, the bank statement for the €2 account and the signatories. This one we were told that we were only given one. Are you aware, though we were provided with a letter from the bank? Do you have anything to add that the other account is not in existence? That was the explanation. The letter was saying you had, when you were here, you told this committee that we have €2 account, but the letter from the bank stated that it's only one. Can you clear there as the principal trustee?
Chair, we have €1 account and one shillings account. So we don't have €2 accounts.
You want to add something, sir?
No, we have
No,
only
the secretary to the trustee.
Thank you, sir. I was requesting this committee to allow me.
So you are not adding the issue of the bank?
Yeah, it's an order. I mean the point of order. I was requesting this honorable committee to allow me leave, because I have some engagement which are so private.
Through the chair, a member by the name Joel Kipkorir Ruto is requesting to be excused to go and attend to some private matters. And chair, because you had you received his submission in the morning, I don't know what is your take as the chair.
Honorable members, he had requested me to have leave to address to his family. I understand he's picking children from school or what? Yeah, so you're allowed. And please assure us that the team of trustees you've left us with will be able to take care of matters successfully.
Yeah, Chair, it is actually a formidable team. I'm not out. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Asante. Bwana Maritim, back to you. Document number 4. Invoices and receipt of payments of accommodation, insurance, air ticket and COVID tests of all students. The person we had in the morning told this committee that he was not in possession of all documents. Have you brought them?
Yeah, Chair. Because I've just been informed that there are some documents which were not supplied, but because I have not, I just arrived, I have not gone through what has been given, what has not been given.
Order,
But
order, Mr. Maritim. It is on the Hansard that you received this letter yesterday.
I said I received the invitation on Monday when I was already on my way to Nairobi. That was around 6 in the morning from
So
the county secretary.
what did the invitation include?
I saw the invitation and I saw the documents that were supposed to be supplied, but Chair, I was not in a position to come back and be part of the team preparing these documents.
On Mr. Maritim, perhaps we could give you time to go and prepare, because we are discussing, we are talking about the bank statement for the 2 euro accounts and the signatories. We've got one. We were given one. Is it true?
Yes.
We want the other account. Number 2, invoices and receipts of payment of accommodation, insurance, air ticket, COVID test of all students. Number 3, emails from the Finnish embassy advising the county government to transfer money. You remember you told us that the Finnish government asked you to transfer money to individual student account. We want to share with us that information, a detailed report of all bank transactions of withdrawal, and attach any relevant document. It is a discussion we had, a copy of the agreement between the 2 agencies. We've gotten one, Skilldorf Limited. So I had allowed you to be part of us today, but the substance of your being here is under immense consideration. So perhaps maybe I will leave that to members to contribute before I make that ruling. Whether you will be of service to us today or we book you another day, so that we gain from your time here. Otherwise, this is not a show that you mark the register and you say I was there. Honorable members, maybe you can share with us on that. My able Vice Chair, what is your...
Thank you. As I had requested you to rule earlier, it seems that the way Mr. Joseph Kipkemboi Maritim appears, it is similar to even documentation and even the information we require from him, and therefore it's only prudent, from where I sit, for him to be given another day, for him to come prepared, because we had only given him today, and it seems that he is not prepared. So my take is that he be given another day.
Honorable Sato. Honorable Shah.
Thank you, Chair. My suggestion is almost the same as the one for Vice Chair, though I am suggesting that we can have him today, but still organize for a special day for him, whereby he can come with the documents, and then we can still have time to go through those documents.
Any other contributor? Member by the name DS.
Thank you, Chair. I was waiting for your permission so that I can contribute. Chairman, I remember in our last meeting when we sat, I even posed a question as to how Mr. Maritim was saying that he had all the documents, and then I asked the question whether he was still in office. Then you confirmed to me at that time that he was still the principal trustee. And Mr. Maritim on that day was very much willing that he could provide documents the following morning, if I had well on that day. When he received the invite on Monday, I would have expected him that, yes, I understand if you had some engagements, it is understandable. But I would have expected him at that time, because he could have directed somebody in the office, the team, to prepare all the documents, so that today, even if he was to come here late, or even miss to come, if it was not your direction that he appears, we could have also gotten the details. Now, should we say today that we are also giving Maritim an extra day, 2 days or so? He might be needed to give us an assurance whether the day he is giving us, he will appear with the full information, because I want to believe the time that you gave was sufficient time for the team to prepare, because it is not a single office. They were still working together.
So your take?
My take is that let Maritim be given, but to assure this committee, because I am not satisfied with the answer.
Thank you.
Not.
It is him to give us a definite day, and if possible time, he'll be ready. Any other contributor, so that we rule on that? I think it's okay. And
Thank you,
I
Chair.
can see a member want to go, Honorable Sato.
In fact, what I was asking, if maybe he's ready, but I think because we need the document, it is good that he gives us the date himself, not as it is him to give us that he will be ready this day. So we can actually assign that day. But if he's ready to say something, if he has some document, maybe he has the documents by himself.
Honorable members, thank you for your contribution. Honorable Isaac, we want to rule on
Yeah,
that.
I wanted to put my observation over the same, because the calendar of assembly is very, very unique and very tight. And I'm not just ruling out the member saying Mr. Maritim to give us his appropriate day, because we have our own calendar. And the subject matter is a matter of public interest. And this assembly, we are here to do our real oversight to the great people of Wasingishu County. I think, Mr. Chair, it is prudent, because the said officer, though not in office, being the principal trustee, he has a lot of information and knowledge pertaining the said program. Yes, we can add him, but we want a clear date, time, so that it can provide us with all the information that is going to make to guide us as committee on the subject discussion at the end of the exercise. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Because of the last speaker, indeed we have a very tight schedule, and therefore, Bwana Maritim, be aware, or you are notified that we had already written a summon, because we had not taken your apology, but nevertheless you have come. Therefore, we are going to retrieve the summon and give you a date that you will appear on this committee with whatever we require, without fail. Failure to do so, the committee will not have will have no reason not to summon you to appear, because time is not on our side. And remember, you are the principal trustee on this program. Therefore, the material or the information we require, you had stated earlier that given any time tomorrow, that was last week, you are to avail them. Therefore, we still believe that they are under safe and lock. Go and prepare. The officer by the name, who is not the member who came today, Tony, Tony will brief you, and we are going to write it too, what we require from you. But from where we sit as the leadership of this committee, we say that Maritime to be given time so that he come prepared. Today he psychologically even not prepared. Therefore, it's so ruled that we are not taking your submission today, because even honorable member has been seated here from morning, and they were prepared to be taken through by none other than Mesha Krono. Therefore, Mr. Joseph Kipkemboi Maritime, stand guided that an invitation is going to be extended to you with whatever is required before this committee. Therefore, start preparing yourself starting from now, psychologically, document-wise, and any other information you think that as a principal trustee, this committee requires from you. It's so ruled. Thank you. Honorable Chair, I want to take the mantle back to you so that you can take us through, and maybe we hear the next submission from Mesha Krono. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Chair. Sergeant at Arms, please assist Mr. Maritime as he leaves the chambers so that we can proceed on.
Chair, before I leave, 1 minute.
Okay.
Yeah. The last time we came here, I was invited a night before. Nonetheless, I came. Today, I got the invite on Monday. I already had other engagements in Nairobi. I finished today at 12, and I came. When I came last time, I didn't know that I was coming to answer questions to a petition. But I answered questions to the best of my knowledge because I was giving you the information. I didn't know I was answering to a petition. I want to seek the indulgence of the chair and maybe this honorable house on some 2 or 3 things. One, when a petition came to this county assembly, and it is a petition against us, in my own, I don't know what legal people say, but in my own layman's understanding, I thought we should have been served with a petition so that at least we prepare. As at now, if I had received the petition, we wouldn't be going through all this now. I would have prepared a very elaborate response to a petition. As it is now, I have not seen the petition. I don't know what the petitioners are saying. I don't know what the prayers of the petitioners are. I'm just saying I'm seeking the indulgence of this committee. And secondly, when I came last time, I know this ad hoc committee in this honorable house have the TORs. So I'm also not aware, because after this I'll be leaving and I'll be waiting for you to invite me. So maybe I need knowledge of that, the petition and the TOR, so that I know how to prepare a proper response. You know, we respond to a petition, so I need to prepare and respond to that. Number 3, the petitioners have done several petitions. I don't know what to call it. I don't know whether to call it they are in a fishing expedition, because if I am a petitioner and I have petitioned County Assembly of Uasin Gishu, I will give time County Assembly of Uasin Gishu to prosecute that matter until they conclude. If I am not satisfied with the conclusion, I will go somewhere else to seek further engagement. We now have 3 petitions. One to this Honorable House, another one to the Governor's Office, and another one to ESCC. I have answered questions to because I was invited by the task force that was formed by the governor relating to the petition they gave him. I have answered questions to ESCC. I'm now supposed to answer questions to this. I don't know how to engage on this because right now I'm not working. I'm not earning. I need to fend for my children. I need to fend for myself. Where do I get the time to move from this petition to this? And it is one thing. It's one petition. I'm not saying this, Chair, because I'm saying I don't want to answer questions to this honorable committee or the Hato committee. I will, but I want to seek your indulgence. Should the petitioners choose who to prosecute, one of them, because Chair, it's not fair. It's not fair. Number 4. Whatever we were doing in this program was actually meant for the good of the people of Uasin Gishu. When I arrived today, I took my time because I actually arrived here before you adjourned for lunch, but I didn't want to interrupt. I just said, let me wait until you are done. And then I took time to go through what was happening in the morning. There was a clip on social media, and I went through. I heard whatever happened in this house, and then the other, when the other trustees came.
Order, Mr. Maritim. What happened in the morning is for the consumption of the public.
I stand guided.
And this house.
I stand guided. Chair.
Now, you are taking more time than what I'm willing to offer you. But let me address you on point number 1.
Maybe, Chair, 30 seconds. I go straight to what I wanted to say, and then.
Okay.
Yeah. People come to this house, to this committee, and say whatever they want to say. They speak. Some speak the truth. Some don't speak the truth.
Order.
But now.
Order, Maritim. Order. Whether what was submitted to this committee is the truth or not, I think it is not you to make that decision.
I stand guided, Chair.
And, number 2, I want to
a request.
No.
A request, Chair.
Order. I'm asking you not to go there, because where you want to go, you are not invited. On that point number 2, discussing the substance of the meeting that took place between 9 and 1.
I stand guided, Chair. I don't want to discuss that. Straight to the point.
And again, I want you to avoid discussing the merits of what happens in this committee. Because that one, I think this is not the right forum.
All right. Thank you, Chair.
So that I can only handle the first part.
Yeah. So I want to make one request.
Order.
One request.
Order, Mr. Maritim. The petition is not your property. The petition is the property of the assembly. And that is why what the committee does is to invite you so that you come and help the committee to make a recommendation. So that is the match. You are only invited. And again, the trust is a creature of the executive, if I may say so, Mr. DS. The trust is a creature made by the executive. And Mr. County Attorney is here, that it was not coined in the streets. It was not coined in county government of Elgeyo Marakwet. It was coined within the government of Uasin Gishu. So it is their property. And that is why when we write a letter, we write addressing it to the executive. And through there, they will know which arm to reach in order to support this committee. You will remember that county government and county assembly are one. It's the county, the total is county government of Uasin Gishu. It has its arms. So that whether you are being asked to appear in several petitions, now, if you are being invited by more than one body to discuss the same, you know, that is outside us. That is outside us. And for whose consumption? If you are being invited by EACC, it is for their consumption. If the task force invites you, it is for their consumption. This petition comes into this house and approved by the leadership of this house. And the petitioner is a member of this county. And in our oversight role and representation, we stand properly to address that petition. Mr. Maritim, we shall invite you to come and help this committee to make the right recommendation in order to assist the people of Uasin Gishu, to assist the petitioners who are here, seated at the gallery, with a holistic intention, which is part of your clerical call, to make this city a greater city. So we are all enjoined in making this city grow, in making this city strong. So you will only be asked to come and help this committee. So nobody is, you know, when you say you ought to have been served, then you're missing the point. This letter, which we wrote to the county secretary on 17th January 2023, we attached it with a petition for the consumption of the executive. So perhaps maybe the county secretary did not avail it to the other important stakeholders. And that one again is outside us. So when you go back, you need to do a proper housekeeping so that information reaches to the right people at the right time. Nonetheless, Mr. Maritim, you may want to give us your official email so that we invite you personally, being the principal trustee, so that we avoid the those bridges. And for those many remarks, I think my able vice chair had concluded on the matter. on the need for you to be invited, being prepared. Thank you so much, Sergeant Adams. Email address, would you wish to do so? Yeah, please support, you will be supported with her. Thank you so much and welcome. Honorable members, now that we have dispensed that, I wish to welcome Mr. Meshach. And Mr. Meshach, you are seated so far. Members cannot see you. Would you kindly come and occupy the front seat so that it will be easier for members to pay attention and be attentive to your submissions. Thank you so much. Yes, Honorable Shah.
Thank you, Chair. Maybe before you give the opportunity, Meshach, I just wanted to inform you that among the things that we thought maybe we have received, there are some which are not as per our request, especially the first one. The one for the list of all the applicants. What we have is the attendance sheet of the applicant. So to me, I think that one we cannot put it that we have, because when you see the statement, the number of students who paid 9,000, there are more than I think 700 students if you go through the statement. So thank you, Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Kaitan, member representing Sergoet. Mr. Meshach Rono. Mr. Meshach Rono. This is the first time we are having you engaging yourself fully with this committee. I want to welcome you. Please, Mr. Meshach, I will ask you to be free, so that you don't have to fear anyone. Perhaps you only need to fear your God. And I will start by asking you to lead us to where we are now. You remember in the morning, somebody said that we should focus more on what is positive. And I just want to interject that by saying, if everything was good, we would not be here. If everything was good, we would be out there celebrating with the families, with parents, with the students, sending each other WhatsApp messages, showing us how the world is good. But now we are here on a different matter. And the matter that we have at hand is the issue of the relationship between parents, students, the county government of Uasin Gishu, the trustees, bringing us all together. And we are trying to find, is there something that we may have committed, either through commission or omission, so that things weren't right? Or perhaps, as said, that these are busybodies who are out there to tarnish Uasin Gishu's name, to bring down the image of Uasin Gishu. We need to assist each other so that we get the right foot forward. Please welcome. And I'm giving you maybe 15 minutes or 20 to bring us to where we are. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Chair and honorable members. My name is Mesha Krono, and I am one of the trustees in Uasin Gishu County of Assist Trust. We began this program in 2021, as has been said by my colleagues. The program was actually to help the young people expand their territory in terms of job market, training, and Finland was one of the countries that we thought will be the best for the youth of this country, of this county, Uasin Gishu. And this program we began where a number of MOUs were signed with various universities, just namely Tampere University, Uvulaskla, Laurea, Lut, and Gradia, and also Metropolia. And we began the program well, where students came for entrance exams, where they sat for the entrance exam, they are selected, and because this program was a program where a parent who is willing and who has the ability, and a student who has passed the entrance exam, so they pay for the entrance exams, and then eventually when they are successful, they pay for school fees, and we start the process. We work through the journey, and Chair, allow me to go a little bit on the operations, because at least that is where greatly I was really involved. So from entrance exam, payment of fees, where after payment of fees, we transmit the fees to the university, and an acceptance letter is given to the student, and then we began the visa launch. When we began this program, the process was so fast that we had a turnover around 2 weeks. We had the visas here in Kenya. Even the conditions for the visa application was not that stringent, because I remember we just used to upload 4 documents, that is the acceptance letter, insurance, the proof of payment that school fees has been paid, and the accommodation. So the processes moved very fast, because I remember we began the process in May, July. The first group left in August of 51 students. So the process was faster in terms of the turnovers for the visas. So when after that we had a spillover of students who were supposed to be traveling in August, but because the university had a capacity of only 25 students, then we moved them to January intake. Those were the 25 nurses. But in the way, there were a number of challenges. The university, the immigration, the Finland immigration changed some of the conditions for the visa application, which now they had to include that you need to pay 6 months accommodation fee. You need to have some upkeep in the student's account. They need to sit for their pathway studies here in Kenya, if that's all their nurses. So that one really changed a lot of things. Then we proceeded, and we had the first group of students. The first time we encountered a challenge here was the physiotherapy group, that their visas was declined, all of them 25, and we had to reappeal for the visas, and luckily enough we were successful. So we've tried as much as possible, as much as we can, and trying to circumvent all the stumbling block. And to mention is, during the time when this program was sensitized, the county government of Uasin Gishu was supposed to be the guarantor, so that we were to evade the issue of the bank statement, which was something that was a bottleneck to so many parents because of the issue of the bank statement. So because the county government was coming in as a guarantor, so that issue during the first 3 cohorts was not a big challenge. But thereafter, it became a challenge now that, as we had mentioned to them that it is a scholarship, then they gave us a new condition that we need to have to show the upkeep, that if we are paying for these students in terms of scholarship, those of us who know, it's always relative when it is a scholarship. That means you receive all from tuition fee, accommodation to the upkeep. So we were given a demand that we are supposed now to give these students money to show that indeed it was a scholarship. And that is why this issue of loading students' account with some money, so that it shows that they have been given the scholarship. That is why the money was put into the account. And we managed to do that for quite some 2-3 groups. The group of Uvascular, which began with physiotherapy temporary, Uvascular nursing, and the first 3 groups of Laura University of Applied Sciences. So we've been trying that much and try to circumvent, because this is a commitment that we made to the parents and the people of Wasingishu, that we want to help these young people, not only to solve the issues of unemployment, but also to solve the issues of training. Along the way, we've quite a number of challenges, as you've mentioned, Honorable Chair, that the reason why we are here, instead of celebrating outside there, is we've had a number of challenges, and I agree that at some point, this program had some timelines in terms of the visa application, the processes. That's why at some point, one of the trustees was mentioning here that they were not involved in the processes, but because of the timelines that we had to move. And we had the number of challenges that we had internal resistance from our own, in terms of the trustees, in terms of colleagues I can mention, so that the processes might started now going slower and slower. And now the issue of the issue of delays in visa came in. And as we speak, Honorable Chair, is that we had a number of students who are supposed to be, we have 127 students, 50 are going to La Parente University, that is LUT, for engineering. Then we have 48 for physiotherapy and 38 for nursing, that their visas are now coming out, but on a negative response. Reasons being that the embassy has quoted about the ambiguity of the scholarship from Wasingishu County. So, and that's why we will always try to see how best we can handle that, and I think maybe later we'll make some prayers about it. A number of challenges that we have also faced, and I think is the issues of agency, the competition between agents. Agent Y, or maybe, for example, Max Global, who we began this program with, feels that now the county government of Wasingishu is skewed towards the skilled dev or something like that. That is what is giving us some bad blood between us and the immigration. That's why we have been given these conditions. I think that is much. Maybe you will be guided by questions from members so that I can answer. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you so much. I had given you 20 minutes, but you have saved us all. I think we will celebrate on that.
Thank you, Chair.
If at all there is something to celebrate. Thank you so much. Now, you started straight by bringing us to where we are, but we don't know who is this Meshach. And what does he do? Please come clear on that.
Thank you very much. Yeah, my name is Meshach Ron, as I've mentioned. I am, before the beginning of training, I was the County Education Revolving Fund Deputy Director, where we began this. I joined in actually when the program was running, where we used to sponsor these students to TTIs. And then we expanded. And I remember that we did a proposal to go to KMTC and KTTC. And we've been doing, I personally have been doing a research in terms of market need, so that we were able to see which areas do you need to really look at in terms of job creation and in terms of skill empowerment. That is why when we began this program of Finland, we thought of health sector, because that is a sector that will always need a human resource. And I worked as a deputy director, and then after that I was given an appointment to go and oversee to be seconded to Overseas Education Trust, which is still domiciled in Youth Affairs and Sports, the Department of section of Revolving Fund.
Thank you so much. So perhaps you would want to supply to this committee your relationship with one Joel Ruta in terms of work.
Joel Ruta is my director in County Education Revolving Fund. We worked properly. We have no personal issues, unless the issues of work whereby, and he mentioned here in the morning that when he went for compassionate leave, the Chief Officer Martin appointed me to take charge of the program in his place. And I think that is where he feels that he was sidelined, because a junior staff was picked to do the role that he was supposed to do. But remember, we had a timelines and the program could not stop. Not that because anybody felt that it was nice, whatever befell him, no, but because the program was supposed to roll up. And remember, when he came back from his compassionate leave, we had already 51 students in Finland. So that means there's something that, amidst his absence, there's something that that we did, and it was a success.
Thank you so much. I want you to marry the revolving fund and the trust. Bring the two together. Who are the membership of the revolving fund and who are the members of trust? The trustee. Who are the members? Or are the members of this Uasin Gishu Overseas Account Trust Fund, are the members of revolving fund? I want to know what is the relation between the two.
So the relationship between county government of Uasin Gishu, or the department or the section of revolving fund, and the overseas, this was a program that, as I mentioned earlier, it was to expand this program internationally, because we had done some sponsorship here in the local learning institution. And because we wanted to expand, and the county government of Uasin Gishu had, one, not budgeted for this training outside Kenya, and two, because of the act, the Revolving Fund Act of 2016, we had a proposal to do the amendment so that we can include the international training or international studies. So that's why when this idea of going to Finland came, we saw it wise then that we can have a trust domicile in County Education Revolving Fund, so that we can process this student, so because they were already ready and the opportunities was there. We had been given the opportunities for the September intake. So because we didn't want to let out the opportunity to go, and the first 3 trustees in this trust is the staff of the county government of Uasin Gishu, which was 1, the Chief Officer Martin, 2, Director Revolving Fund, 3, me as a Deputy Director Revolving Fund. Because we wanted to take advantage of this opportunity, that there is an opportunity that has arisen, and we want not to lose this as we try to look at the issues of the amendment of the Act, so that maybe in future it can be budgeted for, and maybe money allocated into that. And 2, because we wanted the revolving fund functions or management is done by the board, through the appointing authority, I don't know the wisdom that they used, they saw that it is wise that we onboard some of the board members to be part of the trustees in this trust, so that to help in management of the trust and also in running of this the trust. And that is how the revolving fund and the trust are correlated.
Is it a clarification? Please do.
Who are the board members that were incorporated in the revolving fund? And number two, since this was public funds, do you think of a parents being a signatory? Because even in schools, anything to do with parents, one parent must be a signatory.
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Honorable Member. The members who are co-opted or who are brought as the trustees, number one, Dr. Chelule, who is there, who is the board chair of County Education Revolving Fund. 2 is Dr. Susan Keino, who is the vice chair, and then 3 is Lois Murray. And I want to admit that during these stages, when we began these processes, and I want to quote whatever the Honorable Member said in the morning, that learning is a continuous process. Little did we know that at the end of the day, we will be here where we have problems. We could have incorporated a parent. And that is why we didn't incorporate a parent during the initial stages, because we thought by sending the first, in fact, the intention was only to send 2 groups. That is the diploma group and the degree group. That was the first lot, the first 51 students. And then we knew automatically that, or we had projected that the amendment will be done, the act will be amended, and the county assembly, the honorable members, maybe will try to budget in their respective wards some money to sponsor students. So we didn't foresee a scenario where the process or this program will be exclusively funded by the parents. We had so that it is, if the government will budget some money in it, therefore it will exclusively remain in a revolving fund, because that was where the program was supposed to be domiciled in.
Thank you so much. Can we now then say that management of students to overseas are domiciled in the Department of Youth?
Yes, because this was a youth program. And as I mentioned earlier, I remember before we used to do campaigns, to do a promotional campaign where we used to go from ward to ward, sub-county to sub-county, calling out the young people to join TVETs, TTIs, KMTC. So this was a program that we used to, it is meant for the youth. So whereby we used to do these campaigns to go round, trying to encourage the people to go and do the technical courses, because we wanted to address the issue of unemployment, where a young person who has a technical skill can be able to survive, not necessarily depending on a white-collar job. That was with an intention of addressing the issue of unemployment in this county. And now, when this overseas program came, we saw it wise that let it be domiciled in youth, because it is just a continuation of whatever we've been doing.
Thank you so much. Before I give it to members, I would want to know as well, who is the principal manager of this program?
Well, when Martin was in office, he was the principal trustee or the principal manager, because he's the one who had the correspondence between us and the university, within the county government of Wasingishu and the university, in terms of correspondence, in terms of invoices, in terms of all that is needed for the operations of this program.
Thank you so much. So I want to bring this back to the members so that you ask questions, starting with Honorable Jonathan Ngetich, member representing Kaptagat Ward.
Thank you, Chairman, for this opportunity. I'll go straight to Meshach Rono through Chairman I've critically analyzed the bank statement. I've analyzed very well. If I may put it, Chairman, Mesha Krono is the principal withdrawer, if there's something like that. You made a lot of transactions.
Is that according to your analysis?
Yes, Chairman.
Thank you. Proceed.
Yes.
Please proceed, Honorable
Now,
Jonathan.
Chairman, I've got a number of questions. Maybe I'll restrict to one or two. Meshach Rono, you are one of the...
Order. It is also important, honorable members, to let the chair know the format of the questioning. So that is it, I understood Honorable Isaac at some point said
one-on-one,
that my questions are one-on-one. So it is also important for you to indicate so that I will know which time.
For now, Chairman, I'll ask through you.
Thank you.
Then maybe later, if you allow me,
it's okay.
I'll go one-on-one.
Proceed, sir.
Through the chair, Mesha Krono, you are a trustee. How did you become a trustee? You will clearly elaborate on that. In this trust deed, there are 6 members registered in the deed. The members involve the chairperson, who is one Dr. Cheruyot. What are the roles of these members? What is the role of the chairman in a trust? What is the role of the chairman? And to the best of your knowledge, did the chairman perform the function that he is supposed to perform in this arrangement, in your arrangement, considering that it has been confirmed beyond reasonable doubt that you held only 2 sittings on 2 meetings, and the meetings were held almost a year later when the account were open? It has also been proved beyond reasonable doubt that there is an element of forgery when it comes to the account opening. As a trustee, did you follow up on all those issues? That is my point number 1. Point number 2, you are a public officer.
Are you in point number 2 or point number 3?
It has been 3. Yeah, maybe I combine 1, 2 to become 1. Let it call it 3, Chairman, as you've noted. Let me go as by the chairman. Point number 3, you are a public servant. You are in the department. You know how departments work. In the county governments, we have a program called IVMIS. IVMIS enables the systems of county government to run without cash money being involved. You procure, the supplier do the procurement through the IVMIS. You do award through the IVMIS. You pay also through the IVMIS. So that it was in the wisdom of the government, so that you limit interactions with cash. Because one, cash has an effect called the tempting effect. Why could you advise the trust that it will be wise for us, if we are to pay money for visa, we agree it is how much and it is being transferred? Why could you be restricted to paying through M-Pesa, and this is an arrangement of so many people? Why don't you transfer? And in any case, some of us have requested for visa, and at one point we paid through bank transfer. Why is yours so unique that you are to withdraw a lot of money for visas and other transactions? Chairman, as I have studied the bank statement at one given time, Chairman, it is for miscellaneous expenses. Who approved these miscellaneous expenses? For a trust deed, if you are to withdraw money to a tune of millions I've seen Meshach, you are doing almost 31 million or 24 million in terms of transactions. If you are to do such amount of money, where is minutes that authorizes you to engage the bank and withdraw the money? Were there minutes supporting that withdrawals? Kindly, through the chair, you will expound on that. Then, chair, if you allow me later, I go a one-on-one format.
Thank you so much, Honorable Jonathan. Perhaps, Honorable Jonathan, and for a general advice, members, let us put our questions in a numeral form so that it will be easy for the respondent to capture. Otherwise, thank you, Jonathan. Can you respond to those? There are around 5 issues.
Thank you. Thank you, Chairman, and thank you, Honorable Member. It is true that through the analysis of the bank statement, I don't know the name that you've after is the principal withdrawer. Those transactions, it is true, because I am the person who have been running this program on a day in, day out activities. And all those transactions have supporting documents which are in the bank and also which you can provide when need be. So any transaction that is in that statement has a supporting document. Reason being, this being a community account, we cannot be allowed to make a transaction without a supporting document. You must provide a supporting document so that you can transact. Two.
Let him proceed. Let him proceed. You will ask. I'll give you time. Proceed.
Two, you've mentioned about the issue of how I became a trustee, and I've said this was a program that was domiciled in the section of revolving fund, and I, being the Deputy Director, County Education Revolving Fund, and the 3 of us said we were the first trustees in this trust. That is how I became the trustee. There was no election.
Order.
There was no election
done.
Jonathan.
Order, members. Being orderly is for the goodness of all of us, so that members, let us manage our questions well. We will be there. We will reach there. Please proceed.
Thank you, Chair. So the role of the members of the trustee, I've said they were to manage, and in trust there is no position of a chairman of a trustee. It is the principal trustee and the trustees. So there is no chairman trustee, it's only the principal trustee. And then cash payment for the processing of this, every embassy has their way of making payments in terms of visa processing. A good example is for Finland, we use M-Pesa, payment in M-Pesa. For Canada, we use a Visa card because I managed to have processed students also going to Canada. We use Visa. They don't accept cash. They don't accept payment via M-Pesa. So that's the reason why you've mentioned about the issues of IFMIS, and you look at the issue of the time. For example, we had an opportunity that we have students that they need to travel. They need to appear on for their visas for biometrics and for example, medical. And for example, medical for this ones for Canada. So we have a timeline. So that is why, and we were doing this, and remember, these programs were tailor-made programs for the county government of Uasin Gishu. So that, because there's a member who asked in the morning, why is it that you're paying for lump sum or cumulatively? Because this was a tailor-made program. After payment of school fees, the university will send the list to the embassy that these are 25 students who are coming from county government of Uasin Gishu, please them assist with the visas. And after doing the visa application, during the presentation now for biometrics is when now we make the payment. So, and after making the payment, there is a receipt. Every officer who took students to go to embassy has a receipt for all the monies that they paid via M-Pesa to the embassy. And the receipt is available.
Chair,
And,
some clarification, Chair.
What is it, Honorable?
The other time, his colleagues told us that there was no receipt that time. So maybe it's like you are contradicting yourself, because we were told there was something like an invoice that those students were given, and then that is the same thing that they were going to use when it comes to payment, but they were not given receipts.
Honorable Kaitany, please don't help him with information.
I can sort that on his
I just want you just tell him that your colleague said there was no receipt. You know, if you say that, it is enough, because if you start now helping him,
Honorable
he
Chair,
will use that against you.
Honorable Chair, I can sort that one quickly, because these are the receipts for the payment of the visa fee paid to every student, indicating the name. And because we are using one passport number, indicating the passport number of it. So these are the receipts. These are a few receipts. But anybody who took students to embassy has a receipt for the payments they made at the embassy. Now,
do we have those receipts with us?
I think they were made copies in the morning, because those are some of the attached. We don't have. Okay.
We don't have copies. Those
we
are
can
originals,
make,
Chair.
yeah, so we can make copies on the same. There is this issue of the meeting, whether the meeting was held. And quickly, this rekindled my memory on to look on the definition of the word meeting. And allow me to go to the second definition, where it's a situation where two or more people meet by chance or arrangement. In the morning, Director Ruta admits that it was Chairperson Revolving Fund who came up with the name. I want to believe the name didn't come up out of a street. There must be a setting somewhere so that a name was proposed. So it is so unfair when somebody say there was no meeting that was done. How did we come up with the name? One. Two, how did we discuss first the National Bank, then eventually, which he has confirmed in the morning, that we saw the conditions of National Bank were too many, that we were not going to meet. Then eventually went to KCB Bank. So meetings, and I want to admit some, we didn't manage to have the minutes. But about the issues of discussing, about the issues of this overseas, and how I wish these people were so sincere and honest enough that one of the chairperson has a kin in Tampere University of Adult School doing welding, the most expensive course. That's one. Two,
Chair,
we want to seek clarification
yes, Honorable Amos.
from Mr. Meshach. He has said, I wish these people were sincere. Who are these people? Kindly name them if possible.
Thank you very much, and I want to appreciate the House first for making these submissions live, because we are able to follow some of the proceedings, which will really help us in terms of making our presentation here. One, Mr. Chelule said that there was no meeting. There was no meeting. They were just asked to bring their documents, and that is it. And I have admit the mistake might have happened because we didn't have the minutes, but the meeting was held.
Chairman.
Through the chair.
Chairman.
Honorable members,
allow me this.
I
Chair,
have a
kindly.
feeling. I have a feeling of the question you want to ask, but let me give you space to proceed. We will ask those questions. Don't worry, we are here.
Chairman, maybe the feeling might be wrong, Chairman. It might be wrong, Chairman. Allow me. I'll forget.
And pray that.
Sure, I'll be very brief.
Pray that you are right.
Yes.
Okay, proceed.
One, I want to use his words, and I would wish him as well that he be sincere. Chairman, we have been provided with minutes, and the minutes are with us. And he's saying that there is no minutes. And in the first minutes, Chairman, various people mentioned have denied being in that meeting. Now, who is sincere? Is it him? Just allow me. Is it him or others? In that minutes, chairman signed, they indicated that the elections were done and these were the people being elected. And in that meetings, they are saying Chelule is the chairman. Chelule was not in that meeting. He has just Googled the meaning of the meeting. That is in a contemporary situation and society. In a government system, chairman, the meeting is formal.
Order. I know if I give you space, you will educate all of us here, which is not the substance of why we are here. Mr. Meshak.
Yes, sir.
You are also under test. If you are telling us the truth. And we are in receipt of several minutes, official minutes, signed, purportedly done by the members of the trustee. I don't know what you will have to say.
Allow me, Chair.
How did they open the KCB account?
Now, that is where I did not want you to go.
Chair, kindly, Chair, to clarify, kindly, from Mr. Meshak, you've said that meeting when 2 or 3 meet somewhere, you want to tell me now, you can just justify to me, if you sit in an hotel.
No, he just said when 2 or 3 are gathered,
I wanted to
God is
kindly
with
allow
them.
me,
Or
Chair.
what did you say?
Kindly me allow, Chair, allow me. So if you want to tell me that if you sit in an hotel and discuss government business, just in an hotel taking tea, that is a meeting. And it is okay, it is allowed.
Honorable
Yes.
Chair.
So it was on a light note. About the meeting as well?
Yes.
Please do.
Okay. My question, Chair, goes to Meshak, that you've confirmed to this house that you met and there were no minutes. I want to agree with you. Because one, there is 1 minute that was dated 22nd, and also the sitting was on 23rd. So, when you are coming up with minutes that are not true and correct, there is forgery in terms of dating and the rest. Kumaanisha mulichanganyikiwa. Tarehe yenye muliketi ilikuwa lini? Ni nani na nani walikuwa? Ndiposa tuko na tarehe 3 different dates in 1 minute.
Allow me, Chair, to respond. I have not said exclusively there were no minutes. Honorable Member for Kaptagat, you must have misunderstood me. I am responding on the basis that there was no minute during the foundation stages of this program, where that nothing was happening, that somebody just went and they opened an account and they told us, let's do this. I have not said exclusively there were no minutes. So unless I...
Order.
Mr.
Mr. Meshak.
Yes, Chair.
Yeah. When a member asks to be given an opportunity to address you one-on-one, it means that I am reduced to be a spectator on the engagements where you run one-on-one with the member.
I wish you protect me, Chair.
Perhaps, would you wish that to happen?
Not really.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Point of order,
Chair,
Chair.
point of order,
Point
Chair.
of order, Chair.
Chair, I think you are not in order to give a discretion whether to allow it or not. There is no option on that. The person who is inquiring or who is questioning, it is at this or a discretion to find a way of asking that question. So kindly, Chair, overrule that. It is an...
Okay, maybe I will invite myself to manage the...
It will be very short, Chairman.
I'm setting the rules here. so that when you engage to the petitioner one-on-one, I'll be there to manage the flow of the discussion. Then that is okay, so you can proceed.
Meshach.
Yes, honorable member.
You are 6 trustees.
Yes.
You are to sit down, agree on the bank, write minutes that is supposed to be delivered to the bank, together with a copy of the trust deed for an account to be done. Did you do that?
No, we didn't.
Why?
We didn't because, one, as I have mentioned earlier, during the conception stages of this program, we were only 3 trustees. And as we were wondering whether it must be...
you know, when you mention about conception, you know, for a trust to be complete, it has to be registered.
I wanted to take you through the process.
Yes.
Yeah. So
before it is registered, you are not a trustee. You become a trustee once it has been registered with the Ministry of Lands. So after registering with the Ministry of Lands, how many were you?
After registering, we were 6 of us.
Did you sit as 6 of you to open an account?
No, we didn't.
Why?
Because, as I have mentioned,
yes,
we had the issues of time. And by the time we were opening...
Now you do an illegality because of time? Because for a trust that has been registered,
maybe
if you are...
order. I want to join Honorable Jonathan in asking this question. This caucus that sat down and coined the idea, when did you open the account? Did you open the account before you formulated the trust, or after you came up with the trust?
We opened the account before. Reason being, we didn't want to, and I want to go back to you and appreciate the issues that you mentioned about the issue of handling cash. We didn't want any officer to handle any cash money from any parent or any student, because we wanted to make the payments for the 1, entrance exams, and then 2, now, after the list after the students are successful, we now have those ones who wanted to pay school fees. And because of the processes of registration of the trust, which was taking time, we did request to be given the letters that the process is on for the registration of the trust, and we attached those documents to the opening of the account because we didn't want to handle any cash from any parent.
Thank you.
Now, Chairman.
Now, this brings me to this letter. There is a letter, minutes of Uasin Gishu Overseas Education Trust, held on 23rd April 2021 at KVDA Plaza, Yorep, boardroom, 12th floor at 11 a.m. Is it a forgery, or it is?
Unless I see the minutes, so that I... Because...
This is the minutes that occasioned the opening of that account.
So, Chair, I cannot really mention whether it is forgery or not, because I need to check. Number one, because the members who are here are the members of the board of revolving fund. In attendance here is our colleague director, who is in social services, and I've seen that it has been indicated there clearly.
Chair.
So I need to check to
Chair.
confirm whether this...
Chair, kindly.
You know, I snatched the mic from Honorable Ngetich.
Kindly.
Perhaps maybe you can, perhaps Ngetich, can you donate it to her? Yes. Please do.
Maybe, Meshach, you can tell us, because I want to believe that you are a man of sound mind. And if today, like you are here today, and tomorrow somebody asks you, were you in the county assembly? You will not tell us, I want to go and check. whether I was in the county assembly. Secondly, you've told us very clearly that you did open the account before the inauguration of the trustees, the deeds. So how comes these deeds, trustees are there, and yet already you had opened an account? Thank you.
Now,
Thank you.
maybe in addition to that, the principal trustee came here with that minutes. Chairman, I'm right or wrong? And he explained that we opened an account basing on the minutes. You are one of the trustees. You want to go and confirm, and you are together. Now, who is sincere? Or
That's
who
what
is
I'm
not
saying,
sincere?
Honorable Member.
Yes.
This KVDA 12 floor, Nore boardroom, is a room that we've been doing our meetings severally.
Yes.
So I might not really remember exact date. This is
Now, from the
Excuse-
concept of that minutes, are you in a position to say you discuss something like that? Don't need to go back and check from looking at that minutes and the concept.
I need to confirm because I want to give the truth of this minute. So I don't want to say it's true or not.
Now, I want you to proceed uninterrupted. Tell us
But point of information, Chair.
the entire thing. Tell us the entire thing. You've told us that the account was opened before the trustee deed was signed. And there is a document you deposited to the bank.
Yes.
So that the account becomes operational.
Yes.
Bring us. We want to be with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Chair. As I mentioned that during the initial stages of registration, there are quite a number of documents that you need to register a trust. And as the process was going on, those documents that we were using to register are the documents that we photocopied and attach a letter to the bank to allow us have an account as we wait for the trust deed. Because already, we had already formulated, and from these minutes, which I need to check, if this indeed was the minutes of that particular time, those members who are present are the members that they were registered as trustees.
Now, Chairman, the account.
Order, Honorable
Let me
Jonathan. Order. Are you through with what you are telling us? Proceed.
Thank you, Chair. So as I was saying, those are the members that they now form to be the trustees. Okay? And the essence of having the three of us, from whatever these minutes I've seen, as the signatories, because these are the officers who are permanently employees of county government of Uasin Gishu. That is why they were given the three mandates to be the signatories of this account. And number two, because this was a program that was domiciled, and even during the process or during the activities of the revolving fund, it is we, the secretariat at County Education Revolving Fund, who manages day in, day out of the activities of the revolving fund. All the programs, if it is identification of students from any level, that is for the TVETs and the KMTC, it is a secretariat who will do the same. So same wisdom or same concept was borrowed for this trust fund account. And I have mentioned that the idea or the wisdom was eventually, if the government will allocate money into these programs, it will still be domiciled in County Education Revolving Fund. Thank you, Chair.
Point of order, Chair. I've listened keenly. And Mesha Kuruno, you might try to be smart, but we have met many. And sometimes I like to be very honest to myself and to my God, because the world is watching me. Before you open this account, the bank requested document. And because you are a signatory, one of the signatories, I believe you are there.
Yes.
Can you tell this committee which were the document you are requested to submit to the bank for that account to be open?
There is a form for registration of a trust. And there are names, KRA pins, and IDs of the trustees. And the letter, the introductory letter from the chief officer was in Gishu County, which was to request for the trust to have an account with KCB So those are the documents that we presented at the bank.
Can you provide us with that?
And unless I go to the bank and ask request for the documents, which is still available.
You see what you're, maybe whatever you're trying to tell us, we have already done it. And to tell you, maybe to make your life easy,
Yeah.
this is one of the documents you are requested to submit.
And we got this one from the bank.
From the bank. And you're trying to take us into circles.
I'm not taking-
Meshach, you are here as an officer and an employee of the county government of Uasin Gishu. We are investigating a very serious matter, and you want just to rubbish what maybe the committee has done and the investigation we have already done. Be guided that this is the minute we got from the bank, that it was a requirement for you to submit, and you are trying to deny that you don't know.
Honorable member, I am not denying.
Maybe to help
I
the
am not
situation.
denying
Order.
these minutes.
Maybe to help the situation here. Mr. County Secretary, perhaps you may be in a position to tell us that the letter that you brought from the bank, nobody snatched it and replaced with another.
Thank you, Honorable Chair. I think we brought this document from the bank together with the bank statement.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
What do you have to say about that, Mr. Meshach?
And Chair,
Honorable Chair, I am not disputing this document.
Thank you.
I am saying, unless I confirm, because the Honorable asked if this was the minutes that we used to open the account. And I have said, unless I check. So that, because I don't want to mention that indeed it is or it is not. So that I need to be on record to say whatever I am well conversant with. So I don't want to admit that indeed this is not or this is it.
Chairman, but when the deputy chair asked about the requirement of the bank, it never mentioned about the minutes, intentionally.
Chair,
or being smart. You never mentioned about any requirement to do with the minute when the chair asked.
Maybe I can ask that fairly. Is a sitting, does it, is the minutes another requirement for you to open that account?
Yes.
Thank you.
I have something, Chair, please.
Yes.
Concerning that one. And Deputy Chair said, let us be sincere. If you look at these minutes, the stamp is 21st May, 2021. If you look at the bank statement, it is running from 21st May, 2021. That is the day you are opening the account. And that 21st May, 2021, the balance is 0. Meaning that these are the minutes that you took to the bank. Only that, maybe drafting that minutes were forgery, including the membership. You never held any meeting, and it is very clear. The minute is 22nd February 2021, the other one is 23rd April 2021, and the stamp is 21st May 2021. The only thing that is correct in this minute is 21st May 2021 when you are opening the account.
Thank you, Honorable. Honorable, yes?
Chairman, maybe so that we can proceed to ask Meshach, there were minutes that were used to open an account. Do you have the same minutes in your office? Maybe you don't have today.
Yeah, I might not
but
have.
Because you are disowning the minutes we are having with us here that it was brought from the bank, because so do you think you have any other documents with you that you didn't bring them with you so that this committee can?
Thank you, Honorable DS. I am not disowning these minutes. I am not disowning the minutes.
No, you are not disowning,
Yeah.
but the question you have been asked and is running in circles. Do you think you have minutes in your office that you kept a copy, maybe even after from the bank? These were the resolutions of the sitting, so the other copy goes to the bank, the other copy remains in our files for future reference.
And
Do
that,
we
is
have
wh-
the same?
and that is why Honorable DS have said, I have to check because we have minutes. So I have to check if indeed this minutes that is here is the one that we used from the, but from the stamp that is there, maybe, but I have to check because as I mentioned, I want to really say categorical whatever is correct so that we were able to move.
Meshach,
Yes.
so that we move along. That document has been shied away. Now nearly all the trustees are saying that this is there was no meeting. In fact, they are saying there was no meeting. Nearly all are saying there was no meeting. Perhaps you may remind them that there was a meeting.
I wish to remind them with evidence. Because unless I check, Your Honorable Chair, that...
Point of order, Chair.
Yes, Honorable Mary Goretti.
Okay. Chair, I want to believe that Meshach Rono was aware that today this committee was going to listen to him. And for him to accelerate himself from the whatever is moving around in the media, wherever, the allegations that are there, the only thing to do it is through documentation that was there. So I want to believe that you came with a file to show us the genesis to where it is. But if you are saying, I need to go back, check, then you are not sincere. Because I want to believe the letter of invitation was not given yesterday. You are given enough time to prepare yourself adequately so that you give us full information today. Thank you.
Honorable Keita.
Some clarification, Chair, and I think where we are heading, it's good at least you have to tell them that they have to be sincere and be sure of what they are saying. Chair, I want to confirm from him if there was another maybe minutes. I'm saying that, Chair, because the other, that was Ruto, told us that you are to open an account with National Bank. But it seems like National Bank were very strict. And I don't know, Chair, they were very strict in what way? Was it that maybe National Bank wanted to have the trusted it, the way we had from the other team the other time? That maybe KCB accepted to open an account without those documents?
Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Chair. To the Honorable Member, I want to, as the issue of National Bank is coming up, this is, I'm saying, there were no minutes of that meeting because it was during the formulation stages where we were deciding, one, on the name, two, on where the account will be open. Number two is that we settled at KCB because all of them were to give them professional documents because the deed was not already registered. It was in the process of registration. That is why we had to move from National Bank to KCB.
So in short, KCB accepted to open an account without the trust deed?
They accepted because with the professional documents, because I think quite a number of because we have a revolving fund account which is domiciled in KCB. So it was good because it was convenient, or because this program was domiciled in revolving fund, and because of the provisional documents that we are using to register the deed, it was something that we requested the bank that let's use these documents as we wait for the deed to come.
Chairman.
So you are allowed to open an account. Were you allowed to start withdrawing funds? Or maybe after the trusted deed?
We were given 3 months to bring the trust. So that means we were not given a caveat on terms of transactions. Because number one, as I've mentioned, while we were opening this account, the reason was so we didn't want to have parents' cash money in our offices. That's why we deposited the money in the bank. Number two, that money was meant to do the facilitation for the entrance exams. That is payments for the...
Maybe, Chair, let me just confirm one-on-one. So it means you are given okay to open an account and operate the account the way you want immediately. without those
Yes.
other documents.
No, without?
Without trust deed and the rest.
Yes.
So that is different from what we had. And as a panga, the way I know, the only thing that you can be allowed is that you can just open an account. Deposits is okay, but withdrawals would not be acceptable. But that one, I don't want to go deeper on that.
Chairman, in addition to what Honorable Gaitani is saying, this is an exceptional case for a serious bank to allow an account for community that will have millions with documents, provisional documents. It's like, Chairman, you are telling me, I, Jonathan Ngetich, with my waiting slip for my ID, I go to the bank, open an account, operate that account as I wait for ID. Is that possible? Unless you use some other means, Chairman.
Chair, point of order, Chair. There's a thing I would like you as the chair to rule so that we save the time of everybody here, including the CAs who have been seated here on the from morning. I know he's a serious person, the county attorney and the CECs. By him accepting very simple concept here. We are, as a committee, we have been convinced beyond reasonable doubt these were forgery. But maybe forgery for the for good of the people of Wazingishu, I don't know how. Before you are allowed to open this account, you say that there were things that you are there is a form that you filled, meaning that it showed that you are going to have 6 trustees. Initially there were 7, but 1 did not provide the information. Kindly, can you tell us, so that we can know whether you are sincere or not, had you formally adapted the 4 or the 3 trustees from the revolving fund for you to use their names? Had you formally co-opted them?
As I mentioned, the members of revolving fund board, because I am not a member in the board of revolving fund, Director Ruta is the member of revolving fund. So I cannot really respond that they were formally co-opted or not. Because
you know, using somebody with good credential names in the bank, you need their consent. And for you to give you a consent, you must have given them the intention of using their names. And because you are one of the signatory of this good account, were they properly co-opted for you and gave you a good a go-ahead to use their particulars?
to me, I'll say yes. Reason being, because Chelule is the chair and Dr. Susan Kane is the vice chair. Because those are the leadership.
Because you are a senior officer in a government, for somebody to be co-opted, what need to be done?
In what scenario?
By a word of mouth or a letter that you have been co-opted to do this work?
I think should be the letter, but you see now, that one will
leave
stick at
a
the appointing authority.
Through the chair.
Yeah.
Please, don't say you think. You are a senior officer. Tomorrow you might be the president of this country. What is supposed to be done?
There must be a letter, but I don't know.
Live there.
The wisdom
there
of
must be a
appointing
letter.
authority.
Were these 3 characters or these Kenyans, were they issued with co-option letters into this trust deed issue to enable you use their ID and PIN number in submitting to the bank?
As I have mentioned, that the intention was this program was supposed.
Anyway, I don't want that answer, Chair. To me, I want you to rule. I think one invitee by the name Meshach is just here to take us round. He's not ready to give us the truth, because you need to give us direction. The way you have done to the other member who is the principal trustee, I think they need to be given instructions on what they are coming to do in the on this committee, because the way he is answering his question, he's just trying to evade, and he'll take us round, and members are busy. We have senior officers of the government, and it's as if we are going to take 2-3 hours without getting any step ahead. Kindly, Chair, give us a ruling.
Mr. Meshach.
Yes, Chair.
Before I go to that direction, my able Vice Chair is advising me. You said that you opted to open an account with KCB.
Yes, sir.
And not National Bank. Right?
Yes, on the need base.
On the need base.
Yes.
And that the reason why you avoided National Bank is because National Bank was a little strict. True?
Strict in terms of the documentation, for example, for the registration of the account.
Good. So the National Bank was strict in terms of documentation. And KCB was lenient to your request.
Yes, on the documents
on
for
the
the
documentation.
registration.
Did you pay for that service for them to accommodate you casually?
No, opening account is always free.
It's always free.
Yeah.
In this record,
Chairman, it is free but with requirements. Now,
in terms of money.
I'm talking about money.
Yeah.
In this document, there is some transaction paid to a member.
Which document, yeah?
Of KCB, if I'm right. In the bank statement, there is somebody by the name Domitila Mayo, a staff this lady called Domitila Mayo. Is she a staff of county government of Uasin Gishu or a staff of the bank?
I think.
And she withdrew on 27th May 2021 a sum of 120,000. If you can go to your statement.
Yeah. Is it the money? Because we need to confirm if this indeed is the manager of the KCB bank or the coincidence of names. Because I might not say she's the one or not. I think she will be in a position to answer this. Chair, I would request maybe you invite her so that she can answer on that.
You know, an express authority came from the trustees that she be paid. Now, I think it rests in you as to why she was paid and who is she.
As a trustee and a signatory of a check.
And if the questions are too difficult for you to handle,
but Chair, give him time to confirm.
Thank you.
Kindly, yeah.
I thought you were paying for the service of her of being lenient.
I wish,
and
Chair,
accommodating you.
we get the one that has the bank stamp, so that we are able to.
Chairman, we have confirmed beyond reasonable doubt. The bank statement that we get from the bank and the one that is circulating, it is there. In all bank statements that you've given us. It is there. We have the statement from the bank. Yes. Which is stamped.
Now, maybe to help you in memory, there is a letter that was written by the other trustees who wished their names to be expunged from the list of trustees. And these letters, copies were delivered to Gladys Wafula, who is the Chief Officer, Youth Affairs, No, name of officer receiving is Gladys Wafula. On behalf of CEO, Youth Affairs. Copy number 2 was received by Domitila Mayo. On behalf of the branch manager, KCB Eldoret East. Number 3 is Esther Briggen on behalf of Principal Trustee. Nelly Chelimo on behalf of the Governor. Mary on behalf of the Deputy Governor. Georgina on behalf of County Secretary. Maybe he is here to tell us whether Georgina is a total stranger. Gladys, the same Gladys Wafula on behalf of CC Education. Gladys Wafula seems to have received on behalf of many. I'm interested in number 2. A lady by the name Domitila Mayo, who is acting on behalf of the branch manager, KCB Eldoret East, received the document. Now, in this statement, Domitila Mayo received a payment of 120,000 forwarded by the trustees. And in this case, the ones who are running daily operations includes you. So please help us understand that.
Thank you, Chair.
And other members of public from the gallery, you are only allowed to witness. No expressions, no nothing. Thank you.
Thank you, Chair. I'm shocked to see that transaction because I am not aware. So how I wish that, I don't know, but I'm not aware of that transaction.
Thank you. I think that is answer enough. I will take other questions from other members.
Sure. Before you give out that line, I don't know whether you are in a position to explain to this committee or this sitting, since you are the principal withdrawer, what is actually the process of withdrawing or making any payment? Do you have a sitting, a resolution as a board or as a committee before you do any transaction in the bank, or you just do as you wish? Kindly clarify.
We don't do as we wish. For example, if we receive an invoice, we check, for example, if it is payment for school fees, if it is payment for flight, if it is any payment that is needed, we receive the invoice. If it is payment, for example, for students' school fees, we counter-check with the list and present it to the principal trustee, who is apparently the chief officer, who will do a letter to the bank. And then the letter, the invoice, and the list of students, plus the check of that amount that is in the invoice, is presented at the bank for payments. Yeah.
So there is no formal process of ratifying that this payment be done or not?
No.
No. Yeah. Okay.
Honorable Diaz.
Thank you, Chairman. Maybe I would like to know from Meshach. The two of you, you are the three signatories to the account. The three, who normally keeps the book balances all the time, that today you have gone to pay the visas, today you have gone to do this is the balance in the accounts, so that today, the reason why I'm asking that question is because you cannot even understand why this amount was paid anyway. So do you think you have other documents in your possession that keeps you on a daily basis to know the balances and the expenditures of this account?
In terms of payments in and out, the documents are always with Tony, because he's the one who has the receipts in terms of payment. If parents bring receipts, we We have a file.
So on that note, can Tony be in a position to answer the 120,000 that was paid because he's the one in and out? Are you aware of the same?
A member who has just come in, this kindly, you know what you're supposed to do.
Chair,
This is a serious committee. Kindly.
Chair, kindly, before Tony answers, maybe I would pose a question to Rono.
Please proceed.
Maybe Rono, before we roll the ball to Tony, I want to believe that he's at the receiving end. But the people who authorizes any payments were the three of you. So before you say we go for the receipt, kindly tell us, are you the ones who authorize the bank assistant manager to be paid 120,000?
Thank you, Chair. As I have mentioned, we'll have to get the document on that specific transaction so that we know what was the payment meant for. Because I might not really remember all the transactions in terms of what was the intention. So unless we go to the bank, we get the documents on that transaction.
Chair, I think our request was that come this day, they were supposed to come with the details of the transactions, all the details. And I remember Vice Chair insisting on that. So I don't know why they are saying they don't have the details.
Chair, to add on that, I still, you know, before I comment, I really listen to myself. We gave them a whole week, and they knew that they are going to appear again on this committee, and with all documentation. But the way Meshach is responding to your committee suggests that either he's concealing some information or he's not ready for this meeting, because there is no question that he has expressly answered without saying, I'll go and refer, meaning that he does not have documentation with him. Kindly, he need to tell this committee, is he ready to continue? Because we think that we'll be wasting our time here.
Thank you, Honorable Vice Chair. Honorable Deputy Speaker.
Yes, Chairman. I was leading somewhere when I asked that question of the bookkeeping of the accounts. It has been said here, not once, not twice, but once and again, that the entire program was a goodwill program to support our young people. Could it be that you, even the bank, the KCB bank, acted also in good faith, that we are all also happy that the Uasin County is sponsoring the students to Finland so we can open this account? But Meshach was giving us, Chairman, a chronology of events on how the bank was opened. It's only that the questions have been coming, but I was interested if he could have been given time, because he had taught us about the three trustees or what? The three trustees, but the others came in later. Is that the position? Yes. That means, ya kwamba, in the good faith of the 53 students, you acted as 3 officers. Is that the position?
No.
Or by the time that the 53 students to Finland came in, you had already a number of the 6.
And the registration was complete.
And the registration was complete.
Yes. There is something that also because as I've mentioned that it's not that it was our preferred account or bank, because If you look at most of these county accounts, they are domiciled at KCB. So it's not that it was a preference because you know somebody XYZ or something like that.
But according to your own kwani kuona kwako, unaweza kuona KCB ilitufanyia justice kama county government kutufungulia hii account?
Yes, they supported us.
Unaona kwa vile, of course we cannot deny that the Uasin Gishu County government have various other accounts with the bank, and it's from my own thinking, mimi naona sasa KCB ilikuwa ina act to in good faith now that you are their customer anyway.
But this is not a county government account, Mheshimiwa. There is no relationship between this account and any county government.
No, it is not a county government, I know. It is not that I don't know this one is not a county government, but according to what Meshach is explaining, it seems also the KCB.
On that, Chair, if KCB was the best for the and a friend to county government, why did they have to go to national first? They could have gone straight to KCB.
Or maybe it is fair to ask, does the trustee have any monetary business with Uasin Gishu County government?
No.
Thank you.
Chair, I believe that
perhaps I want to ask.
We've sorted out the issue of account opening. We've known the truth.
Yeah.
We've proved beyond a reasonable doubt that maybe what happened there, there was a forgery, there was all that. So we can proceed to other things. Like we have a lot of questions concerning the statement, the procedure. So we can now proceed. That one will come to in our report. Right?
Thank you. Why I ask you that question, and thank you, Mheshimiwa Kapkea, for giving us that direction, is that on a number of occasions there were money wired to Uasin Gishu County government from the same account. The beneficiary is Uasin Gishu County. I will pick 4th
Take
May.
me to that page, Chair.
4th May 2022. Do you have that? Do you have a statement with you?
Yes.
Okay. Fourth May 2022.
We need to move together because you can see even the county secretary and the attorney want to know how they benefited as a government. Thank you.
Which transaction, Chair?
Okay. Page number 39 of 110.
Oh, 39.
You don't have?
Yeah.
Give it to me.
Pardon? 2022. The date, the page is dated 19th September 2022, and page is 39 of 110 on the bank statement. That is, they were how many set, or they were all ziliwekwa pamoja secretariat? Date of transaction is 4th May 2022. 4th May 2022. Date of transaction. 4th May 2022. Yes, 300,000, 313. And there are several.
There are several. Total amounting to 71,228,000. Beneficiary was in Gishu County.
Have you seen that page first? This is just an example. We said a transaction of 4th May 2022. County Secretary, because you are the link person.
Thank you, Chair.
Have you seen that page?
Yes, and I would wish to respond.
Chair, there is a response.
Honorable Chair, the CEC member for finance is not here. He would have been the right person to respond to this question. However, I have some information. This matter came up last time. A member of this house, the honorable member, on the sidelines saw it and asked the CNC Finance about it. And the CNC Finance went to check with the records of the county government. And from the records, that money was never received by the county government. So we feel that that could be a narration, either an error in the narration, but that money, according to him, did not get into the coffers of the county government.
Now, if there is a problem with narration, Chair, could we get the right narration then? Now. What
Maybe
are the
bank
narrations?
can confirm, because from the records, as confirmed by the Chief Officer, Finance, and the CEC, they are not, I think, Lely, you witnessed that? Yes.
Okay, Chair, through the Chair. Chair.
So that order. While we ponder on that, there is another one. On 28th June 2022, beneficiary yes.
But have you gotten the date? 28 June 2022.
How much?
4,596,000. Beneficiary was in Gishu County. No, in my formulation, I've tried to bring all of it together, and was in Gishu as a body benefited with 71,228,000.
Honorable Chair.
Perhaps this was another source of revenue, Bernard, yes?
Of course, Chair, I'm also wondering, but as I have said, when the CEC Finance tried to check, that money did not get into the county government account. And maybe we could confirm with the bank the narration, because what is indicated here was in Gishu, UG County. It is not specific that it was in Gishu County government. We could be having other bodies that have the name was in Gishu County and maybe other names at the end.
Chair.
Yes.
What I wanted to say is
I think I have an answer to that. Because I've tried to follow, and there is something that has captured my memory and my mind on the transaction of 6th July 2022, where there is negative 32,640,000. And we can still confirm this on the transaction, because as I have mentioned earlier, that because of the conditions, the new conditions that we were given about putting money into students' accounts for the upkeep, I want to believe, and we will bring evidence of the same, of this transaction. We will try to highlight it and go to the bank to see, because this transaction of 32 million is when we were processing 70 students who are going to Laurea University of Applied Sciences. And each student was supposed to be given
Chair, I think because of time, that one I can confirm we have the copy for that, for 32 million.
Okay.
So maybe we can go with
Yeah.
we can continue with the other issue.
Yeah.
Chair, what I wanted
Chair,
to
in
say.
particular, you can answer the 32.
For 32, that is it. But now
the
because
rest you can't.
I can, but you see, not because I cannot. I need to check, but I want to believe it is those transactions for embassy students.
Perhaps we will now ask you so that these members don't get irritated. Can you find another word for check so that we will be okay? You know, you've used I will check for more.
Let's confirm.
Using the word I will check, it's not going on.
Confirm.
Yeah, use confirm. I think that
Thank you,
one can
Chair.
help us. Mary Goretti, Honorable.
I want to believe that the name they were using here, even in their minutes, was Ngishu, not county. It is only Ngishu. So maybe, Rono, maybe you can tell us, do you have another parallel account by the name Ngishu, apart from this account that we are looking into, the statement?
No.
And if not, would I say that there is somebody somewhere who has used the same name as Ngishu, and it is amongst you to draw this money? Because the money was meant to go outside, not within Ngishu. Remember, this is an overseas program, and we don't want to receive a lot of payments.
Order, County Attorney. Now all of a sudden you are becoming an accountant to the county government of Uasin Gishu. I thought your role was advisory. Okay, it's not in order. If you converse in high tones, you will disorient the other members.
Okay,
Honorable.
Chair, what I was saying is that not unless from the 3 signatories they had accepted to open another account which is not privy to the rest of the trustees, so that they have a leeway of getting this other money. So not until you tell us where was this money going, because 71 million rotating within Uasin Gishu account. Then from that account, where did it go? Thank you.
Chair, we will get the narration of all those transactions under the name Uasin Gishu.
Kindly, do you know that the account was in Gishu? Are you aware of it?
I know Uasin Gishu Overseas Trust account. I don't know this Uasin Gishu.
And have you been able to check through the statements before? Have you been going through your statement? Have you been requesting for the statement?
We've been requesting for the statement. That's why I was able to capture the 32 million that is under that Uasin Gishu. And I have said, for avoidance of doubt, let's get the transaction from the bank.
Okay, when you captured the 32, did you make a follow-up to know where this money had gone?
The 32 million?
Yes.
It is on the students' account. Especially the 127 who are waiting their visas.
But you told us you've only one account, which is there was an issue of overseas account. You don't have any other account. So when you tell us the student account, is it the student who opened this account, or it is you who opened the same account?
Because of the requirement of visa, and the requirement is each student must have 6,720 euros into their account, into their private account. So every student open an account where we will transfer money to individual students' account for visa processing. Once the visa is out, the money will be reverted back to the trust, Uasin Gishu Trust account.
Mesha Krono, don't forget that you told us that some visas were being paid through M-Pesa. Others were being paid through a lump sum check, which was going to the launch of visa.
Thank you, Chair.
And now you are saying every student had to be given that money to his or her own account. Remember my first question, that launching of a visa should be individual. But you said no, because it was coming as a wholesome for the entire student. That's why we were even sending one of us to go with the student to launch the visa.
There are two things here that we need to differentiate. One, when paying for individual visa, the 49,000 if they are going to the embassy, and 49,000 plus 9,500 service fee if they are going to VFS Global. That one is meant for visa. The 485,000 that I'm talking about is the condition that the embassy gave that each student we must see, and among the documents that we upload is the individual statement to show that this student has 485,000 in their personal account for their upkeep. So those are two different things.
That's quite understood, and you don't need to labor yourself so much on that.
Chairman.
I want to accommodate Honorable Keitang. I will come to you shortly.
Thank you,
Yes.
Chair. I think time is running, and I had many questions, but you have talked of the one for 32 million. I think that one we have the supporting documents, even the one for 21 million, the one for 12 million, but I'm not seeing the one for 34,560,000. I'm not seeing that one, so maybe I'm sure Chairman will give you another day to come and explain to us, so you make sure you come with those supporting documents. I have an issue on this, some of the transactions, like the one for 73 million. The narratives is forex purchase. That is under 26 April 2022. There's another one for 8 August 2022 for 38 million. The same day, 8 August, we have 13 million. That is a forex purchase. So I don't know what was the
Those are payment for school fees. So you have to purchase the euros so that you can make the payments, because all the payments are made in euros.
So you mean you purchase real cash?
You are not given.
I know.
Yeah.
But so in short, you are transferring.
Yes, but in euros. That is why under this transaction we can get the RTGS form with a negotiated rate and the conversions into euros.
Why go that way? Because I know that one is a bit expensive compared to what you have been doing. Because if you see the statement, you have been transferring directly to Finland some of the funds. But this one, it is now you are purchasing the currency. That's Finland. That is what? It is euros.
You will do the transfer, but you must transfer it in euros.
So I hope you will come with the same supporting documents on that, so that we can get to know if it is true there were payment for the students. Also on the issue of we have Rift Ventures and Safaris. I don't know what was your agreement with the Rift Ventures Safaris. I think that's the agent that they are paying on your behalf the issue of a flight.
Yeah, that's
something like that. So you pay according to the that is your breakdown. They were supposed to pay 100,000. You are supposed to pay something like that, 100,000
for
per student when they are going.
It depends on the season, because at times the flights are expensive, at times the flight are 100,000.
So sometimes you
because, for example, the one that left for physiotherapy, that left during the summer holiday, they had to pay to a tune, and welding, they had to pay to a tune of 192,000 per student. So it depends on the season.
Instead of
100,
they paid
192.
192.
Yeah, that was
so on such cases, the parent is supposed to top up, or
yes, we invite the parents and show them the invoices, and of course, you know, with the flights, you can always Google and see the prices.
So it means sometimes also you save some money.
It depends, because there is no particular time.
Anyway, thank you. The total number of students who have already
While holding on there, I'm suspecting a booming business here for forex trading, because on 15th August, that is page 98 of 110. 15th August 2022. That is page 98 of 110. There is a credit forex sale. Yani pesa imeingia ya 3.2 million. Proceeds of forex sale.
There was no proceed. What happened is that money was deposited to a wrong account in the Finland. So that is why the money was refunded back to the account. It's not that it's a forex. But now, because we had already paid in euros, it was coming in. It was money that were refunded back to the account because the account number that was captured was wrong. So the money had to come back.
So maybe I will ask Honorable Kaitan to help me with the English, because whenever I see anything sell, yeah, please advise me.
I agree with you, Chair. I think that one, unless they explain to us, because if it was something which was coming back from the other side, then, and the bank knew that it was a reversal of something, then the narrative should be reversal of such a transaction. That's what I know, but not proceeds.
Yeah. We'll get an explanation on that.
So, honorable members, it looks like we will get explanation now that we've avoided. I will check. Then we went to, I will confirm. Now we will get explanations. We may get a new term again if we go further. And taking into account the request made by my able vice chair, honorable members, perhaps you have something before I say anything.
I was still going on, Chair. And it's my request through you, Chair, that now that we have some of the evidence on this, maybe on the issue of visa transfers and what, especially the one for 32 and what, it's my request that maybe when they will be coming back, for us to confirm that it is true that 2 million was transferred to students' account, and maybe after they have gotten their visa, the same amount was transferred back to that account. It's my request that can they create another column whereby they can indicate the amount that student transferred back the amount. That date should be the same. As per the statement. If it is, and it's only that because of time, but I wanted to question them to show us the one for the 30th April, because I'm very sure the same students have already gotten their visa, and I just wanted to get from them, because I'm very sure they are in a position whereby they can balance their books of accounts. So, in short, in future, they can create another column whereby they can show us the date whereby that student refers. The issue, the reason why I'm saying that is that there is a question which Honorable Amos asked the other time, that what about if somebody, XX, can open an account with KCP and then somebody somewhere decide to say even XX is part of the students, and maybe the amount is being transferred to that account. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Under that transfers, and I'm lucky that I have some receipts here for the reversals of the money. So the money might not come as 32 million, but if you do reconciliation of this, you will get to that figure. So it is available.
I knew that, yeah. Chair. That's why I'm requesting to know the dates. And the final one was that there is a schedule of 4.8 million. That one, is it? No, it's not 4.8. It is 7.2, whereby there was that is Chumba Emmanuel Kiptanui. The amount was supposed to be transferred was 485, but there is no account number. So I don't know how can that money be in that account, yet the account number was not indicated. The one that is under...
It is one of the documents.
One of your documents.
That we were provided with.
The one for 7,275,000 for around 15 students. So maybe you can get some clarification on that. Maybe Tony can tell us.
Okay, Chair, if you may allow me to respond.
Continue.
Okay. For that particular case, there was we had compiled the list of all the details of the students' accounts, and then by the time we were taking the document to the bank, that student was too slow to give us the account detail. So we made a copy that we retained in the office, but I believe when we take the copy from the bank, it will be having the account number.
There is somebody's phone near a mic calling.
Honorable Diaz.
Yes, I only wanted to confirm. Last time you requested for some of the correspondence that the embassy has been corresponding with the department, and if this one have been answered, then so he has also, while he was presenting, he has said that there are some changes that the embassy keeps on changing, that it can be of value to this committee, whether we get those evidences of those so that we can relate with whatever changes that were made later on, whether you can, you know, last time, Chairman, you requested for the emails. I don't know whether you got them, and I don't know whether now you can give direction on that.
You know, with the switch off the mic, please. There was a question of agents, the two agents, and that we are submitting to this honorable committee that we are now having problems with them.
Yes, because business rivalry.
Or the two are competing.
Yes.
So I thought that would make you in a better place. How is it harming you?
It is harming in a scenario that one agent is feeling that the other one is doing much more greater job than the other because they are the founders or they are the one who initiated these programs. Yet there is another one who has gone further and recruited more students or look for many slots or opportunities for the young people here. Hence, because
we understand from the submissions made early that one of the agent we don't pay agent fee. That is which?
The Max Global.
Max Global.
Yeah.
We don't pay agent fee for the services they do to us.
Yeah, they are being paid by the university.
So and the other one we pay.
Yeah.
But somehow you find it good to work with the one we pay.
It is not somehow because it depends on the number of schools that somebody brings.
Okay.
It's not that we work with this one because it's not paid, but we work with it. No, it depends on the number of schools that somebody brings.
We had requested for an agreement between the two agents and us as county government, indicating what is the agreement, how much are we paying? Because, you know, it was said that a student pays 30,000 agent fee just by word of mouth. We want the decisions by mouth end from where you come, so that while we are here, everything is supported by a document. Do we have that agreement signed between the agents and us on how much we are paying for the service they are doing to us?
The one for skilled up is readily available because I think it was even shared here. So the one for Mass Global.
The one for
Max,
that one has no monetary value attached to it.
Okay.
It's just a plain agreement.
All right. So I think we'll get the agreement.
What do we call this? That was submitted, if it is not the agreement.
But he's talking about the financial agreement.
I thought I thought all these were contained in one document.
No, it's not one document.
Then
It's
why chose to leave the other?
It's like the MOUs and the service agreement.
Through the chair, the committee was interested. Mark you, Meshach, while you are away, we go to establish that there is 85,000, questionable 85,000 shillings. Why is it questionable? 30,000 that is supposed to be paid per student as agent. And why is it questionable?
And that is irrespective.
We were told that there are students who paid the 30,000, but they went into university that were not requesting what? Or you are not supposed to pay the agents. Meaning that it is the money in question. The 55, it is not anywhere. Here or there. And no document to parents or to the trustees that support the same. Therefore, by saying that there is another agreement, meaning that you are choosing what document to give this committee and which to give. Therefore, be honest and candid enough. Provide all information so that all what we are doing is to try and get to know, because petitioners would like to know what happened with their money. If money was used to pay school, okay. If money was used to pay insurance, okay. What about the money in question? Therefore, it's only documentation that will crucify somebody or exonerate somebody. Therefore, I don't know why you are deciding, Tony, all these documents you are being asked is to try and address the petitioners.
There is, before we conclude today's proceeding, there is a statement that one of your member, Mr. Joel Kipkori Ruto, said, and I want you to qualify that statement. He said that I wrote a letter to the CEO asking him if there is some money we have saved for it to be utilized to buy furniture. My question is, were you in business of saving money? Were you transacting money to save? Or what is this saving about? Because I thought the monies were itemized during inception. That you are paying this 900,000, 800 goes to this, 100 goes to this, 50 goes to this, 9,000 goes to this. Why does saving come into this equation?
Chair, through you, Chair, to add on that,
yes,
if you allow me, I would like the officer before the committee to tell us if there were any savings that were made in this whole process, maybe through negotiations, discounts. There's usually what we would call quantity discount. The more you bring in, the lower the pricing, maybe in the negotiations with the universities and all. If there were any savings made, though he had touched on that a little bit on the forex exchange and all, if it was issued at cost or that was issued at a discount, if in any case there were any savings made, and if they were, to also clarify probably how they handled the savings that they might have made in case there was any. And because you've talked about concluding this session, so that I do not raise my hand again, allow me to add quickly two other concerns. On the agency, I realized that he had talked about the agency conflict that had arose because of engaging more than one agency, SkillDAF and Max Global. So I wanted him to clarify if at all they've engaged any other agency apart from the two, and what might have informed them to engage another one from the first one that they had engaged initially. Is it only because of the number of schools that they're able to bring forth, or there is any other consideration that they might have had? And I think the main concerns that have been raised by this committee the whole time is not so much the money that has been accounted for, but whatever seems not to be accounted for at this point. So probably even as they are given maybe time or whatever you as the chair will give direction on, is that they should be more keen on whatever is not clear at this point as of the concerns that have been raised by this honorable house. Lastly, Chair, is the observation that I had made that the intention of opening the account seems to have been good, but the process and the practices that followed thereafter might be indictable. And I would like to know if at this point, especially because the officer is still in office, if there are any mitigating measures that he might have taken up at a personal capacity or jointly with other officers or officials within the department or even the task force that was formed to ensure that there is lesser questioning by the beneficiaries and even the parents. Thank you, Chair.
Chair, before he answer, because it seems you'd like to bring this today's session to an end, I would like it to be captured because there is what for the county secretary and for Meshach. Meshach,
Yes.
When you sought to go and address issues with your wife medication, which was granted, we were explained on how the monies that were paid by parents were supported by documents, fees, insurance, all those. But we reach a point of the 85,000, which we were explained, 30 was meant for agency fee. 55 does not have a name. Kindly, being a signatory, can you bring some light to this committee about, was there any meeting that was held to sanction the 55,000 and still the 30,000, because it's still in question, because it's not everybody who paid 30,000 the money was given to the agent, because those who went to the University Tampere were never, the money was not paid because the school paid the agency fee to the agent. That was what was explained to us. Kindly, was there any meeting to sanction the 55 and the 30, and this communication, was it given to the bearer of this cause, that is the parent? Because hizo zingine zote ziko na invoice, ziko na documentary evidence. Kindly, can you help this committee by saying tulikuwa na mkutano hapa and these were the minute na it was communicated to parent. 2, can you shed some light to this committee? We are privy to information that there were students that were privileged to go to Finland, but the trustees took the burden of paying the fees, whether partly or wholesomely. Can you shed some light and reason? To the county secretary, when the task force, the governor initiated a task force, you did tell this committee that you initiated, you wanted to do an audit, or it is ongoing? Kindly, can you shed some light? Did you identify an auditor to audit this account? Who is the auditor and the particulars, and how far is the audit process? Because as an oversight role, would like to know how far you have gone, because you had the former principal trustee questioning. He has been summoned to the task force, now to the assembly, to EACC. How far, or it was a PR exercise, how far have you gone as a task force with the auditing of these overseas account? Thank you, Chair.
Please respond to that.
Thank you. Thank you, Chair. Allow me to respond to the Honorable Member that all the invoices that we receive in terms of fee payment are always a tailor-made courses. That the invoices that we receive are already negotiated fees. That's why we don't have to say we are supposed to be paying 710, but we've negotiated to 680, because these are, even in the agreements, the service agreement and the MOUs are always a tailor-made courses, tailor-made for county government overseas. That is why we have the MOUs and the service agreement. Number two, on the agencies, we have only two agencies. Number one, that is in Skildup in Finland, and Max Global in Finland. But in Canada, we have Elimu Foundation, which is exclusively dealing with Canada. So we don't have any other agent for Finland. About the mitigation measure, as I mentioned earlier, that this is always, learning is a continuous process, and we are in teaching processes. That is why every cohort or every group of students, whether it's a diploma, degree, physiotherapy, or the rest, we have parents who have already, they met, they elected themselves, and they nominated 3 people. And it was one of our recommendations that we have an account run by one person from the county government of Uasin Gishu and a parent, so that at least they are able to manage their accounts, because this is a program that will run others for 3.5 years, others for 2.5 years. So during that period, so that we don't have this mess that we are in right now because of fees that has not been paid, that might jeopardize this good noble act that began earlier. About the 85,000, I think I need to go and look on my math, so that at least now that I know and sure that I'm going to be here soon, so that I comment on this, because I don't know whoever was talking about these balances of 85, what he meant or not. And then about something on the payment of fees, I didn't get that correct.
Chair, before you leave on the 85, I did stated that any other payment was very clear to this committee. Money for tuition fee, it was accompanied with an invoice. Money for travel, the same. Money for accommodation, the same. But 85,000, the explanation that we were given, 30 was to be meant or to be paid to the agency. But 55,000 was paid by every parent or by every student, but without any invoice. Can you explain? How did you arrive to that figure?
I think I'm not aware.
You are not aware?
I'm not aware.
Go and prepare yourself for you to answer, because 55,000 to a Kenyan is not 55 shillings. The other question, you say
the payment of fees, I didn't get exactly what
the
you
payment
mean.
of
Fees.
Yes, there are allegations that there are students who are in Finland. They are luckily in Finland today, but they did not pay for their fees. But the trustees can explain whether they paid partly or the whole amount. Are you aware?
I am not aware of any student who left without payment, because as we receive payments, And this is what is being
Meshach,
done.
if we establish and get to know and give you particulars, will you denounce? Or as a signatory, you are going to accept, yes, we did this? Because we want to be honest. We said, tukiwa honest, hata hapo mbele tutakuwa sawa.
Ni sawa. That's why I'm saying, Honorable Member, that all students that make payments, there is always a file for every university. That if there are 25 students, inside that file, there must be receipts of 25 students.
Tony want to add something. I can see Tony have maybe some.
This issue was
you are very good in. Tony, what do you want to add? He was in day to day. He wanted to add something. What do you know about that?
Okay, thank you, Chair. I wanted to say that we have documents for all students who have paid fees and the balances. Okay. So we have students who have already gone to Finland and they paid full fees for first semester.
Okay.
And then they were supposed to pay for the second semester while in Finland. So some paid, but some have not paid.
For the second semester?
For the second
What
semester.
did you do with that? Because they are in the second year.
And they are supposed to pay fees for the second year.
Who paid for the second semester?
It's around maybe around four students who did not complete payment.
What happened
for the second term?
For that case, what happened?
The parents came and told us they are going to pay, so we could pay for them so that they'll come and.
So you are confirming that you have paid some money with an agreement that they are going to return?
Yes.
Can you provide the names of those students whom you paid for?
We shall provide.
Thank you, Chair. Continue. So, Meshach, you can see. I think it is prosecutor the CS.
Thank you. You asked the question on the audit. Yes, when the task force was formed under the direction of the governor, in the task force, under the leadership of the deputy governor, we found it necessary to have this account audited. And we were able to invite different stakeholders, including the trustees. And during one of the meetings, when we had invited the trustees, it was agreed that we conduct an audit. And the trustees themselves...
Interjection, please, Benasias.
Yes.
At this point, the committee have known that the trustees, though there were 6,
yes,
but there were 2. There were 2 groups.
Yes.
The active and the dormant.
All of them were there.
All of them were there.
During that day. And it was agreed, they actually agreed among themselves that they were going to appoint an independent auditor as trustees because they are the ones who run the account. And that was the agreement. That is about a month ago. But however, as a task force, we kept following to know whether this auditor had been appointed, and we realized that I think there were differences among the trustees and they were not able to move. At that point, the task force decided to take it upon itself now to get an auditor by the task force, to be appointed by the task force. And as
Be clear, Bonasies. Yeah. You had given them a leeway as the trustee to make sure that this public money, because there were people's money, to audit their own accounts. But they could not do that. You are affirming that?
It had been agreed in that meeting that an auditor be appointed, and the trustees themselves had undertaken to appoint an auditor to audit the account independently. But that did not take place. And I think you remember in the morning, one of the trustees saying here that they were not able to agree on the auditor. So at that point, the task force itself took it upon itself to now appoint an internal auditor. And the last meeting that we had the other day, under the chairmanship of the deputy governor and the members, the CEC members and county attorney warrior also happen to be members of that task force, will agree with me that we have taken that initiative. And I think, when did the CEC finance say the auditor is going to be? Yeah, within a week. We are going to have an auditor appointed by the task force to undertake an audit.
Okay, Chair, you
Thank you, thank you. The last one. There was a formal request by parents of Metropolia to withdraw from the process and hence have their funds be refunded. Of the 13, how many of them have made a formal application to withdraw? And of the ones who've made formal applications to withdraw, how many have received their money back?
Thank you, Chair. Allow me to answer that. We had 17 applicants for Metropolia University who had paid, and 7 have requested for reimbursement, and then we are now remaining with 10. Okay, they were 13 after we have others who withdrew earlier. So all of them were 17 who had paid. So some withdrew earlier as early as August last year. So seven have requested formally to be reimbursed, and we have given them their checks, and they have cashed the checks. And we have given you the documents.
Sorry, you were not with us the other day. The issues the petitioner said is that there are 13 members who had expressed their interest to join, for their kids to join Metropolia. There were 13. And they wrote a collective letter requesting for withdrawal. And the advice from the county attorney was that each member should make an application of withdrawal. So my question, of the 13, how many of them have made such an application? And of those who have made the application, how many of them have received their money? And when I say money, I don't mean post-dated check, because we are struggling with some other quarters in dealing with post-dated checks.
Thank you, Chair. So far, what we presented to you, there are 7 who have requested to be refunded, and we have refunded them and we've given them the checks.
Current or post-dated checks?
No, they have cleared the check. They have even cashed the money.
Thank you. So we still have 6 who are yet to make a formal application of withdrawal.
Yes.
Say it.
Not,
yes.
Not 6, 10.
I want you to own it.
10. All of them were 17. The ones, the others who requested earlier before the petition. And then some after now the petition is when they came to request for refunds.
Perhaps
So
we are reading from a different script. Maybe, yes. Who was the originator of that information?
Chair, allow me to respond. That when those 13 that did the petition to, and who went to visit the county attorney, out of the 13, only 3 managed to do the formal withdrawal, and they have received their checks. Those ones who are remaining are 10 who have not given us the formal withdrawals.
Thank you. I think that services my question. Honorable members and our guests today, it has been an exhausting evening.
It's not a question to there is the CEC education, the CEC youth and sports, especially CEC education. You know, she has been to UK on this good program, and now I think she have understood this program better than when he was flying to UK. What is coming into her mind because she swore to advise the governor of county
You
government.
had, Honorable, you had started by saying it, there is no question. And
No, she need to, you know.
Now, I thought you would, I will help you in addressing that.
Thank you.
Because you had qualified it as, there is no question, and you're asking a question. Let me ask it this way. Honorable CECs who are present, and thank you so much for holding that long, answering no question, just being participant. You know, it speaks a lot to the honorable members who are here of humility and desire to serve humanity. It speaks a lot. You may not have spoken, but you are getting a lot from your commitment to being with us, including the CS and the county attorney. I want to appreciate your being here. Maybe, perhaps, closing remarks, so that the petitioners who are still hanging on the gallery could hear your voice, and maybe give them a word of reassurance.
You're very right. You're very right. And specifically to the CEC who have gone to UK, she have seen a bigger picture. The county attorney, the CS, when they are giving their final remarks, they need to give us their mind, because we want to come out of all this. But the good baby, we make sure that it is nurtured to fullness. Thank you.
And to add on that, Chair, to add on that, I'd also want Meshach and Tony to tell us if they would advise, in case we have a parent at home now who is considering this program, would they advise that parent to participate in it actively? Now that we have the Canadian platforms coming up, we also have, so what would be their word on that? Should those parents come in?
Thank you. And I will avoid that question being directed to Meshach and Tony. Maybe, perhaps, the Education CEC will handle that.
Thank you, Chair, for the ad hoc committee, Deputy Chair for this committee, and honorable members, and my fellow CCs. Good evening. Thank you so much. We have been here from morning, and we have done a lot of listening, and we are really listening keenly so that we get to understand the process of this program, how it started, up to where it is now. Being in the government, we are part of the task force which has been formed by His Excellency the Governor to look into the outcry of our people on the challenges on this program. So we've been here to listen a lot so that we get to understand deeply, so that we get to, because this baby actually is a good program. I personally, immediately I was sworn in, I was assigned a duty to accompany the governor to Canada. So I was asked by honorable member to explain something about Canada. I did not go to UK, but it was Canada. So in Canada, I saw a lot of opportunities because we went to several universities. We started with the conference where we met several institutions, and then we went to different universities and community colleges. Sincerely speaking, there are a lot of opportunities, and which are very good for our children here. And it is my prayer that we save this baby. It is going to improve the livelihoods of our people. It is a good program, but with the challenges, me personally as the CEC education, I'm interested in understanding it so that we will see a way forward on how to improve this program, because we want to save it, sincerely speaking. So it is my prayer that even after these investigations, we don't dump the program. It is a good thing in our lives. Now to the petitioners, I want to encourage them. Let's keep giving us support and supporting one another, and continue doing this investigation to the letter, so that all of us get to really understand. And both of us, CC's education and sports, because this program was in one department in the previous government, where we had education and the youth and sports. So both of us, we are very ready and very available to help find out how we can solve these challenges or these problems, so that we save this baby. Thank you so much.
Honorable Chair and the Deputy and honorable members, I also want to take this opportunity to appreciate each one of us, even for the patience that we've all had. And maybe from my side, I would still want to maybe in the whole of the period we've been listening, and even with the formation of the task force, which was called upon by the governor, Our Excellency the Governor, for me it has been an eye-opener, and what I have gathered so far, it is the program is a very good program for our youth, and the opportunities that our youth are getting out there is immense. If maybe given a chance, when they're given a chance, they would say it. I believe so, because I've seen some of the videos. And for me, I believe, or I would still insist on honesty and transparency in what we are submitting. That is from our respondent side. I would still insist that truth will set us free. For us, the new CCs, we are actually learning that even as we have just started the journey in even handling public funds and all, it is very key for us to be honest and also to pass the information to the people of the county, because this calls for having a clear motive, and also knowing that we are serving humanity. It is an opportunity we've been given. So I'll still call for us in the journey as we prepare to come up with maybe the recommendations or whatever report we will have. Let's have a clean motive. My fellow respondents have really shed so much light on the program, to the extent maybe we would have been quick to continue with it without knowing there were some teething issues and problems, which again, I believe as we continue unveiling all this, I would call for, what would I say? Because at the end, let's all ask ourselves as leaders, what is our motive in all this? Because we may be here as honorable members or as respondent, but what is each and every one of us? What is our motive as an individual, not just as general leaders, or maybe we are just doing this for the petitioner's sake. What is the motive of the petitioner? What is the motive of any one of us here? So let's not forget that we are serving humanity, and God will be the judge. Yeah, and then in regards to the auditor, let's all maybe come with a clear suggestion. Why? Because we may also want to have it as a task force have decided on this. Then the county assembly or the honorable members will also say, no, we want this. So as we look into all this, let us come together. It is a good program. We wouldn't want it to just die like that. I have so much faith because I've been called by parents and some have even met them, and they're asking us, we have money ready. In fact, one of them asked, even with all these issues, at the end of it, ni ile tu pesa tulilipa ni mingi ama ni kidogo? So you even wonder, are you even meant to even tell them? Because they have the money ready to pay for the next program. So, and we need to be clear on what our motive is, so that at the end of it, let's not forget we'll be judged. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Just maybe to make it clear that the processes done by the task force are their business. We don't intend as an assembly to interject or to be part of what you are doing. So proceed on with what you are doing in the manner the executive feels or deems fit to address the matter. We as the county assembly, we will do our work, we will do our way. So kila mtu afanye kazi yake. Ya muhimu ni kwamba we do justice. And when we say let us save the baby, we, in the same breath, we say let us hold the wrongdoers into account. In the same breath. So that it is not about save the baby, save the baby, save the baby, and we are leaving this other side. Or perhaps maybe you are not, mpaka mahali tumefika hatujaona kwamba kulikuwa na makosa. Tumeona wote. Yeah, Honorable Mr. Meshak is yet to agree on that. But wakati tunasema let's save the baby, then on the same breath tuseme, then let us hold the wrongdoers into account. Honorable Mr. County Attorney, I'm giving you 2 minutes because I think that will be sufficient enough for you to make a submission.
The chair of this committee, the deputy chair, and all members of the committee, thank you for this opportunity. I have had the fortune of going through the petition, which I didn't have the other time. And the first complaint was that the students still have fees arrears at the school, contrary to what is known to them. I think so far the petitioners would agree that there is no fees yenye watoto wetu wanadaiwa na wako Europe. Another thing is they is saying that there is tentative information that the kids were to be deported January 2023 if they fail to complete their fees. I also want to say that is true, and that problem is the second year fees of the Tambere 51. And then there, of course, we have been told about the impatience of the students waiting. I want to request something to this house. I know I don't have access to your calendar, but there's some information which I have. And that I wish, if it was possible, we conduct these proceedings every day until we determine this matter quickly. Because the danger of deportation has never been more real. we have information that we might have a month only. We have communication from Europe that unless we pay the second year fees, they are going to withdraw students from college. And then after that, the immigration department is informed. Now, the petitioners here, I have students there, and it's their children. I'm not defending anybody who might have misused funds or have acted wrongly. I'll be the first one to recommend prosecution. But we have an emergency now. If it turns out that money was misused, then people will have to heads after all. But for now, let's save our children by paying for their fees. There's an account which has been opened with Euro, and this for temporary only. If the parents are somehow feeling that they are not confident with the signatories, they are free to bring in anybody of their choice. But we have to raise this money in a month. We have communication that the deportation program will begin by 28. Let's not fight among ourselves until we are lost. To see a vita of your pansi, Nehemiah Kunguru. Anybody who has stolen money will be dealt with. But then let's not lose the big price. Let's pay for our kids, and if there is any overpayment, it will be refunded. But for now, let's save the house from burning. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and I want to echo you. You should have been a pastor.
There's still chance.
Thank you so much. Our visitors, Mr. Meshak, thank you for giving us your time. I understand you had requested to leave early, but you have managed to stay with us until this time. We will still need you here. And we will communicate that to you, so you will you are a county employee, so we don't have a problem with you. We will communicate to you the date that we will be having you, both you and the lead trustee. And I will still want to hear what the county attorney has for us, so that if there is a thing we can do as the assembly to make sure that we are all in one accord, then that is the way forward. Because if we all agree, then God agrees. But if we don't agree, then we have a problem. So we will still have to sit down and see to it that even if it involves inviting the petitioners, we sit on a round table. I think it will do us service. So that we set aside the issues we have, and if it involves them taking the lead, it is okay as long as our children are safe and sound in their schools of learning. Honourable members, I want to... yes, what is it?
Now, because as I know you are going to invite me, but right now I'm on my annual leave because I'm writing an exam next week. So I don't know how soon, or so that if probably next week and maybe tomorrow and the day after I'll be trying to prepare for it. So I don't know how, when, because and then because of the issues of exam card, I have to look for Friday to sort out those issues.
Can this Friday do? So it cannot be tomorrow, Thursday. Okay. Now that this matter is also urgent, following the advice of the county attorney, we will have to strike a balance on, because this is we had given you this afternoon, the whole of this afternoon, to satisfy these members with their questions, but you know how it went, and that we are lenient. We want to get the truth, and that is why we are willing to have you again. So you will be communicated as to when we will have that meeting through the county secretary. Mr. Maritim has given us his official mail address. I think we'll go direct to him. We'll write a mail to him. But it would be better to have the two of you, plus all the documents that we had written. We are not adding any other documents. Just bring us what we had inquired. Come with them. We will deal with it. We'll prosecute it.
Chair, including what I requested, it's very important.
Yeah, that one was
for
captured
the
here.
refund.
That one was captured here. So otherwise, thank you so much. Thank you. Who is CS? Oh, CS has not said anything. Pole. Please come.
Thank you. I didn't have to say, but because you have been given me a chance, I would just want to finish by saying that, as my colleagues have said, we may have had a few issues with the program. We are not denying that there could have been a few problems, as we have all seen. But I want to urge members that all of us agree that we have a problem. One of our main issues in this county is youth unemployment, and we have opportunities in other countries. So one way of resolving the problem of unemployment among our young people in our wards is to find as many opportunities as possible for us to offload these people at home. So let us continue exploring better ways of doing that. Of course, this was the first time we are having such a program, and we have noted there were issues. So I want to urge this committee, this other committee, to make recommendations on how to make it better so that we avoid the few issues that we may have had. Thank you.
Thank you so much, and sorry for that oversight. Thank you. I want to appreciate all the membership. Honorable members, I want to appreciate you in a special way for being there when you are needed most. This is a calling to serve humanity and to remain true to your oath. Honorable members, everything shall go right because you've chosen to do what is right. You've chosen to stand on behalf of those people who don't have the might to be heard. And also, you've chosen to stand for the truth together with the executive, that the truth has no other side. The truth is the truth, and that is our cause. So I want to thank you members from the gallery. You're also invited on the next engagements so that you follow up what we do here. Here we are impartial. Our interest is the truth. And you will forgive us, maybe at some point we may have been agitated, but it is natural that we be that way, following the submissions that are made. But let me promise you that we are very natural, and we are good leaders, if I may speak on behalf of the assembly, and that we will continue pursuing the truth, because that is what matters most. We are not ready to let that go. We are also part of the team that sings. We have a song that, besides wanting to save the baby, we also want to put the culprits into book, so that we are all united in what we are pursuing. Because the same call that we save the baby should be met equally with the same call that we put the people who wronged us to their correct position. I'm not saying that they are there, but what I'm saying is that if they are there, then that is their place. And we'll stand for those people who have been wronged in one way or another. For the March remarks, honorable members, I adjourn this meeting until tomorrow when we'll be having other respondents. So nataka niwatakie tu jioni njema, nataka niwatakie kila laheri na samahani kwenu nyote ambao tumekaa hapa kuzidi muda ambao unatakikana, lakini tu ni kwa ajili ya kwamba tumechaguliwa tuwe viongozi, na viongozi hawalalamiki, wanatafuta suluhisho. So nasema asante sana, mkuwe na jioni njema, barikiweni.